Tell us about your parents and how did you become active as a little kid?
Well, my parents, I can't even tell you the love I have for,
Mm,
especially my mother and my grandmother,
mm,
or my mother and her mother.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
know, I love my father, and I also love my stepfather.
mm,
I was raised, I was blessed. Uh, and the reason why I say that, because I had strong influence.
mm,
You know, my mother always supported my activism. This was her house, and I'm
really?
fighting now to keep it.
Mm,
But you know, Leroy, I cannot really tell you how great a woman she was. Uh, my activism begun when I was about 12 years old, when it was this school that was just one block from our house,
mm,
and it had all of the amenities,
mm,
and on the weekend it was just closed. Nobody was in it.
mm,
So we went out in the yard and played on the swings and things.
mm.
And for that, I had my first confrontation with the police.
At 12.
Yeah, because of the fact that it was a white school, and we wasn't allowed to not only attend, to even play, or even go on the school property.
Property.
So
Yeah.
that introduced my that was my introduction to the blatant racism that exists here in Louisiana at that
Mm.
time. Uh,
And
from
what year was that? If
it
we
must have been
can.
in the early '50s or the mid
Okay.
'50s.
Uh,
You know, from the next thing is when we asked, well, anytime you got on the bus, at that time it was that sign,
Segregation.
white only
Yeah.
and colored only.
Yeah.
So you
Jim
had
Crow.
those, uh, but then you also had at the same time uh, that blatant history,
Mm,
of the Klan.
mm,
You know, I was raised in a community where many of the men in that community were sons of the True Friends, and True
mm,
Friends was a group of brothers at that time in the 1900s, in the early 1900s, that made a commitment that they would fight for each other if attacked by the Klan. And they had so many, gun battles with the
mm,
Klan. So again, uh, that part of the history, because my grandfather on my mother's side, he wasn't only a Garvanite and a World War One veteran, but he was a member of the True Friends.
Mm.
mm,
So besides the work he did on the riverfront, you know, these was the things. So that activism came with me.
yeah.
I could remember when I was young, a person coming to stay at our house and sit on the porch with double-barrel shotgun and a couple of pistols. You dig? And he just slept in that rocking chair. You dig? You know, it was a guy that I never knew before and never seen again, but he was told that that was our uncle. You dig? So I can remember him being there and during some of these times.
Is it the same thing as the book Negroes with Guns?
Huh?
Is it the same thing as with the book Negroes with Guns?
Well, I never read Negro with Guns,
Okay.
but I've seen it. You know, I can remember, you know, one of the things that we was always proud of is that when Marcus Garvey was forced to leave the country, he left from right here, and blacks lined the levee from here all the way on the West Bank, all the way to the Gulf of Mexico.
Wow.
To see him off. You dig? And then a couple of years after that, a delegation from here left and went to Canada to see to meet with Marcus Garvey. So these was some of the things that was highlighted in my life. When my father came out of the service as a World War II veteran, even though that he didn't have to go through the indignities of my grandfather, but he also had to deal with the racism. You dig? So seeing that racism all my life have always told me that, hey, that in America, that it was, you know, there's always two types of people. You dig? It was one for the white and the privileged blacks, and then it was another one for the poor, and especially for the poor blacks. You know, but through it all, you dig, we've been able to survive. So that's, you know, that was the greatness. I can remember when the city of Gretna had just built a brand new pool, you know, for whites. So we asked them to build us a pool, you know, and which they did, but they built our pool on a city dump, you know. So with it, we, you know, it was always stared dead in your face, you know, the blatant racism. So with that, it have always been some of us that stood up and said that that, you know, it just wouldn't be accepted.
And you want to ask something?
I just have a question about the, you know, your paper name, Guyton or Guyton.
Yeah.
Because there's another powerful Guyton in Detroit, Tyree Guyton.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
you know, are you family?
Yeah. We distant cousins. His folks came from here.
Okay.
You dig? You see, when they went up to Detroit, because he also he lost a relative during the Vietnam War. But when I was young, when I was I'd say about 8, 10 years old, every summer we would drive up to Detroit. And we would drive up to Detroit to hang with them.
Oh, wow.
You know, and then we also had family in Windsor, right across the border in Canada.
Oh, wow.
So, I have family all up and down that little area there.
That's beautiful. Yeah, so one of the Poor Magazine heroes was what he did with the houses there, you know, and the art house.
And it also was a guy that did a lot of work in the Alameda.
Wow.
On the island when they was first doing the base, yeah.
Really? Wow.